Hey, welcome back to Jonathan Roams. Today I'm going to be servicing my AquaHot system. For those that don't know, an AquaHot system provides constant heat, constant hot water, and will preheat the diesel motor before I leave on a trip. Most AquaHot systems are pretty much all the same. The things that have changed is the dimensions and size of the boiler system. They all use the exact same Webasto burner. Remember, if you have questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'll answer all of them to the best of my ability. I by no means a professional or a certified tech, but I've owned many motor buses and have worked on many AquaHot systems. Today we're going to be replacing the fuel nozzle. This little thing will either make or break a good camping trip. With the fuel nozzle, we're going to check a couple other things and also change the fuel filter. So sit back, hold tight, and let's get started. All right, the first thing we're going to do is make sure our AquaHot is completely turned off, diesel and electric. Follow me right here, you'll see my control panel. These two here, that's my electric side, that's my diesel side. This here is turned off because this is your engine preheat. Now that we have that turned off, what we'll do is go below. Here's my under storage compartment that I had to take everything out of. You'll notice here, this is where my AquaHot is located. It's right in the middle of the bus, so it's a difficult spot to get to. The AquaHot comes off, well this version, majority of them are all the same, or pretty much the same, but it just comes off in pieces like a Lego set. That was the top cover. Here's the bottom cover. All right, so here is the AquaHot. This is your burner controller here. This is actually your diesel burner here. Sorry, let me get the camera. That's your diesel burner. These here are gonna be your circulating pumps. There's one down here. I have a fourth one. And this box here is gonna be electric relays to heat your AquaHot up with electric and not diesel. This unit here, I don't know if you can see that, has over 4,702 hours on it. I have replaced the whole entire Webasto diesel burner once, so it's been a great little unit. What we're going to do is take off these two bolts here, one here, and there's one on the lower side that's actually 6 hours later if you're looking at a clock. You'll take those bolts off, and you got to be careful with these when you tighten them back up, and I'll explain more of that later. All right, the first thing we're going to do is take off these 10mm nuts. Actually, that's a lot. The first thing we're going to do is unplug our controller. That way nothing accidentally will fire or not fire. We're going to take off our 10mm bolts. This one's the one that's at 2 o'clock, and it's the easiest one to get to. One at 7 o'clock, and you pull it out. This is what your diesel controller looks like. This is the nozzle here that we're going to replace right in the middle. These are your electrodes to actually ignite the diesel when it turns on. This is your photo disc and your photo eye here. This will shut down if it doesn't recognize a flame. It's a pretty straightforward process. I'm going to grab some rags, take this off, and get everything ready. All right, I went ahead and grabbed some rags. I'm gonna go ahead and clean my photo disc off. Grab some brake part cleaner. Just spray it on the rag, not on the photo disc directly. Clean that all up. Clean your electrodes off. You should be able to see the diesel nozzle better now. It's copper in color. Or brass, I should say. What we're gonna do is go ahead and take this off. You'll need a 5/8 wrench for the burner, and you'll need a backup, 3/4 inch wrench for your backup. Perfect. What you'll do is you'll take your nozzle off, make sure to use your backup in place. and it just spins out. This here is your nozzle. This end hole will clog up and not spray a constant flame or constant mist to make a efficient flame. What'll happen is sometimes this portion here is porous and will get clogged up as well. So AquaHot recommends that you change these out at least once a year. Since I full-time and I'm in mine every day, I change mine out every 6 months. Usually right before winter and right when spring's starting. What I'm gonna do, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but let's grab this other camera. What I'm gonna do is cover this portion up, that's where your diesel comes out at, and then I'm gonna clean these electrodes off with steel wool. They're caked with some carbon, so I'm gonna clean those off. All right, I couldn't find any steel wool. I know where some's at, but this was a lot closer. I'm using a Scotch-Brite. Make sure you cover that up because that is where your diesel's coming out of your burner at. Grab your Scotch-Brite pad or steel wool. Like I said, we're just cleaning off the deposit, carbon deposit. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna grab our new nozzle. We're gonna stick it on here. Go and screw it in place by hand, get it started. Always make sure you have your backup on it when you're doing this. And with this brass, what we're gonna have to do is we seat it. Diesel makes everything slick. We're gonna seat it, so you're just gonna tighten it in there slowly. You'll see actually diesel kind of coming out of it when you're doing it. Just keep it clean, keep your photo disc clean. Okay, now on these nozzles, once you get it close to set, you're gonna seat this. So what you're gonna do is just tighten it, loosen it, and then tighten it one more time, and that seats it perfectly. Take our backup off. We're gonna clean off the extra diesel. Basically, this photo disc you see here pushes up against the burner tube, so it seals off the chamber, sucks air from the bottom, pulls it through the motor here, like a carburetor, spins the air and fuel around, these ignite it, and that's how you get your flame. So now this is complete. You always want to check your igniters here. There is a piece on the burner. You'll see it right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's loose, you see me spin it around. These here, you'll put over the head. You'll put this over the head of the nozzle here. And these two triangles here actually line up your igniters. I've done this a bajillion times, so I know these are good. So now I'm just gonna move this to the side because we're gonna look at a couple more things while we're in here servicing in it. We're gonna pull out the burner tube. Depending on when you actually did this, or when you actually ran your AquaHot last, it's gonna be hot. If you let it cool down a little bit, it won't be as hot. So I have rags. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the burner tube out. What you're gonna do is just stick your hand where the burner was at, move it around a little bit, and it just kind of slides out in place. Now on this one, you're gonna see that there's a lot of carbon buildup. It was time for me to replace my nozzle. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull it out of the basement so I don't get this everywhere. And then what we'll do is we'll stick it back in. All right, so here we're gonna inspect the burner tube. This here is where the flame swirls and blows through here, and actually blows back around to this portion here, and your exhaust is below. We'll want to clean all of this off here. Notice it just flakes off. Gonna go ahead and swipe all this clean, and you don't want to get too crazy with it because you want to keep the shape. You want to keep all the shapes the same. Okay, and the last thing we're going to inspect is we're going to inspect inside. 4 little swirl places, that's where the air actually mixes. You want to make sure all those are in good condition and cleaned up. What'll happen is sometimes if you don't replace your nozzle, what'll happen is those will actually burn, and it'll throw off your swirl air mixture with your fuel, and your AquaHot will run horribly bad. Ask me how I know. All right, so we have the diesel tube cleaned up. What we're gonna do, last thing we're gonna do is actually check inside the port tube. Make sure you're cleaned up. Mine looks pretty clean, but I will run the Scotch pad through it one time. Again, you don't want to get too crazy and wild. You just want to kind of clean it up. Any extra debris, you're just going to make it more efficient. That's going to drop a lot of carbon down. So what's going to happen the first time you turn on that diesel heater or the AquaHot, it's going to blow out a ton of black stuff out of your exhaust. Don't worry, it'll happen. Just as long as it doesn't happen every time you start it. If it does that, then you know you have a problem. Tube's going back in the hole. Slides right into place. Burner slides into that tube. What I do is put the first top bolt on. Don't just hand tighten it to hold it into place so you can get to the bottom one. The bottom one I can't show on camera, it's just harder to see. Where I'm staying at this weekend, there's tons of birds. You probably can't hear them on the recording, but they sound happy. It's a beautiful day. Current temperature 71 outside with a slight breeze. I actually had the drone out this morning flying. All right, so the bottom bolt you'll get hand tight. But what I was getting at on the foot pound or the inch pound, it's not foot pounds, it's inch pound. On the inch pound of torque, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's just set in my brain. So I'll put it in the screen. These AquaHots though, if you take care of them, they'll take care of you. All right, we're in place. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and put my connections back together. So what I'm gonna do is go wash my hands because I'm nasty. I'm gonna set the camera up once I get my hands washed, and then I'll turn the AquaHot on, the diesel portion, and you'll watch the first ignition after you've done all the service. It'll blow the black smoke out that I talked about, but then after that it'll be a clean burn. There's going to be some telltale giveaways that it's time to service your AquaHot. One is going to be the noise. You're going to be able to hear the noise difference and the sound in your AquaHot. Number two is you'll see smoke, black smoke, because it's not burning efficiently. And number three giveaway is your tailpipe. Notice how I have black soot on here. We just finished servicing the AquaHot. So what I do is go ahead and clean this off, and it gives me an idea when it's time to do the next one. I have it saved on my calendar, but it always helps to know. Here's where my diesel filter's placed for my AquaHot. It's next to the diesel tank here. Every time I check or change, I write on my filter. Here it says full service, 924. I did a fuel filter, which is this, a new nozzle, and I also tested the boiler fluid. It is at 48%. It's perfect, exactly where it needs to be. So what I'm gonna do is spin this filter off, write full service, the new date. I'm gonna go ahead and test the boiler fluid one more time and write nozzle on here. So that way I know exactly what I did last, and I use my trusty little Sharpie. Servicing your AquaHot is pretty simple. You kind of watched everything I just did there. I've heard stories of people paying anywhere between $800 to $1,200 to service their AquaHot at a RV center. Do it yourself, save you some money. Mine's a little bit more difficult because of where it's located. A lot of motorhomes will have it on the outskirts of the side, and the panels are just easier to get to. It takes longer for me to get everything out from underneath my bus and get my tools ready than it does to actually do the job. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll be happy to answer any of them. I've figured out over time, living in a motorhome full time for, I don't know, six plus years now, on and off, and you save more money when you do it yourself. I'm old, well, not that old, but I'm older, and doing these small spaces takes me a little bit longer to do, to get my fat rear in and out, but it's worth saving money, and it makes you understanding your motorhome that much more. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll talk to you soon.